Hello friends, welcome to my vlog. This is a Bondi Crafter vlog. I mainly talk about my knitting projects, my quilting projects, which I love doing, and also sewing. I do some other creative activities like making lariats from beads, long strings. In this episode, we will look at, I'd like to talk about my feelings about animal respect of native animals, really, animal welfare, and how in Australia we are treating our native animals. It's something that's very dear to my heart and it's very passionate, so I get really emotional about talking about it. But this week I was watching the national TV station, Landline. It's for country viewers and city viewers also. And they were speaking about kangaroos and wallabies. And I'll go into a bit further depth a bit further on, but it doesn't seem right. We've only been here 200 years, 250 years in Australia. And in that short time, we have, I don't know, mistreated, not managed to live together with our native animals. And some of them are on the brink of extinction in just that short period of time, and we will never see them again. And I'm just thinking, anyway, hope you enjoy this video, my vlog. I'm working on my yellow cardigan. I've got this much done. I'm onto the main body part, which I'm really happy about. I've got a really long string though, and I find it a bit, I don't know, it's a bit hard to sort of pull around each row, and there are like 422 stitches on each row, and there are, I think I worked it out to be about 62 rows to the armholes. So, and it takes me half an hour to do a row. Could take a fair while. So while I'm knitting, I'm thinking, and mostly meditating, but lately I watch the TV sometimes and there's ads on and things. I don't watch the news. And yesterday I was watching Landline, which is on the ABC. It's for farmers and such. City folk watch it too. And they're talking about kangaroos and wallabies. Something that I care a lot about. Native wildlife. Our koalas are just about extinct. I can't believe it. Makes me cry. So to get back to it, kangaroos, they were talking about killing them, how there's too many. So to get back to that, they were talking about how the numbers should be culled and people should be eating more kangaroo meat. Why should people be eating kangaroo meat? Why should we be eating all our native animals? And these chefs that think it's fashion to eat things that shouldn't be eaten. I just don't understand how people can go out with a shotgun and shoot kangaroos between the eyes and kill them. It's beyond me. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about eating food at restaurants that cost hundreds of dollars, sourced from local sources? You don't have to eat meat if you don't want to. I eat meat, but I don't go out and shoot kangaroos. Might be the same thing. I think we should have respect for animals. When my meat is killed, there's a blessing said for its life. It's not just strung up by its tail on a truck. Anyway, that's off my chest. I'm a relatively slow knitter, and this is my slow project. Hope to get it done in a year. Well, maybe by the end of winter. But I do have other projects going at the same time. A lot of other projects going at the same time. I've got a scarf, a shawl, nearly finished. I'm using the 2 skeins that Jenny gave me for Mother's Day. So I'm using one by itself for a scarf, and I'm using the other one mixed with, held together with an Issachar white mohair. It's nice and soft. So I've just started that one. The other one is nearly finished. I have a few quilting projects going at the same time. I've just, I have a lot of quilting projects going at the same time. I have boxes with them labelled, and I do a bit to them every so often. At the moment, I'm thinking I might get out my Liberties and do a bit more to that one. I have got 3 that need pinning up, 3 quilts, pretty big ones. See how that goes. Hoping to do that in winter. It's May 9. It's raining again outside, pouring rain. Yeah, it's nice to have a nice slow project. And I'm quite happy with it, really. The back of it is quite neat. And the back of the front is getting there. So I have to go out shortly. So I'll see. I'll be back in a minute. Just getting back to the thought of, native animals. Native animals are a passion of mine. And it's so sad that all the big animals in the world are becoming extinct. Our grandchildren may never see an elephant. How sad is that? I can't watch things about elephants anymore. Big cats, whales, sharks, snakes. The forestry burns down all the eucalyptus trees. Well, every year they have burned back. People are allowed to build in the forests here, the native forests, the old forests. And then in summer, when it's fire season or before fire season, the forestry back burns, or they clear the undergrowth, and they say Aboriginals have done it for thousands of years. And the fire is so intense that it burns everything, kills snakes, spiders, butterflies, native flowers, native trees, koalas that can't escape. wombats, all the little animals. I think the older I get, the more intense the thought of extinction is, and how it's final. It's just sad. But there are so many things to be happy about. This is my finished shawl. My Confetti shawl by Jennifer Tipton. It is such an easy pattern, and it's so beautiful. It's pretty long span, I would say 1.5 meters, 2 meters, but you can go as long as you like. It only uses one skein, which is fab. I have made some modifications. I googled how to make bobbles, and I've made bobbles on this scarf. This is the first one I've made with bobbles, and no two are the same. So I thought, I'll just wing it, and so that's what I've done. And yeah, so these are my bobbles on the end. I thought I wanted to include them because they're so beautiful on the pattern. So yeah, and I really like the edge. I really like the lacy look. So with the bobbles, I'm left-handed, mirror image left-handed knitting. I was knitting along from the stitches from my right hand, and I knit with my left hand. So I knit into the stitch that I'm going to make the bobble with. I knit one slip one over, knit one slip one over, knit one until I had 6 stitches, which it said on the video I was watching. Then I turned my work around, went back the other way purling, went back the other way knitting, turned it for the last time and purled 2 together. Seeing I had 2 stitches, 6 stitches, I purled 2 together, and that was 3. Then I knit those 3 together, and it made a sort of a bobble. But you know, I think just by knitting into the same stitch over and over will make a bobble, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really cute. And being a nice long length, you know, you can wrap it in all different ways. The yarn is so nice and soft. The colour is lavender, and it's got a metallic thread in it, which makes it shiny. I don't know, it just catches the light every so often. My daughter Jenny gave me this yarn for Mother's Day, and I really love it. I've got another skein left and a bit left over from this one, so I'm not making the same shawl again, scarf, but I definitely like the fibre that it makes, and I knit it on 4mm needles, the circular, and I think that makes the fabric of the knitting nice and soft. And I'm not going to block it. I don't block things really. I mean, I blocked my vest mainly because I wanted it more wider, but this I'm thinking I'm just going to wear it because the shape is really nice. I like it. I don't want to stretch it. And yeah, so happy to finish it. My other finished projects with the 2 socks for Judith. Well, 1 pair of socks. That's done. I also knitted a beanie for my son, same as my husband's, but from the leftover yarn. I had enough left over to make him 1 too. Nice and soft, no pattern. I just made it with the leftover alpaca and the wool that I had together, held together. Made a nice soft fabric. And yeah, it only took me like 2 hours because it was only cast on 96 stitches, knit for 8 inches and cast, and do the crown, which I did. I divided the stitches into 4 and just cast off a stitch each side of the 4 stitch markers. So that is my knitting projects that are finished. I'm still doing my yell. It will be my long time project, which I love. I think if you can knit a yell cardigan, it's a test for all other knitting. Even though it's beautiful stranded knitting, and it's not complicated, really, it's not complicated. It's just counting, but I've divided each segment into 22 stitches, I think it is, for the colour work, and it's working out really fine. If I make a mistake or I don't end up with the right number of stitches at the end of the 22 sequence, I can just look at that small part without undoing a whole lot of knitting, just the small part, and go back and correct it. Usually it's because I've knitted 2 stitches together and the yarn is Rowan and a Shetland wool, and they're sticky. So they stick together sometimes, and I sometimes knit them together if I'm not concentrating really well. So it's easy to go back and just correct that if you've divided each section into compartments with the stitch markers. So that is a really handy thing to do. I'm looking forward to it being finished. I think if you can do a yell cardigan, you can do anything, because it's perseverance more than anything, A lot of people that I've watched, doing podcasts on knitting, the gentle knitter and the traditional knitter. A few people have actually made one and they've got it on, so I'm thinking I want one too, so I am going to finish it. Yeah. This is my finished shawl. It is so beautiful. Stretched out. I'm in my studio today. This is where my fabric lives. And I've finished socks. They're a bit longer than usual. I'm really happy with them. Got 2. I made these for my friend Judith. They took a couple of days to make. My heels are knit 1, purl 1, no, knit 1, slip 1 for the first row, purl the next row. I like how I have no holes anymore. I have 2. It was a bit of a struggle. And this is the yarn I used. It's Marvel printed by Seasons, 8-ply, and I knitted on 3.5mm circular needle. And look what I found. Is this perfect for a sock maker? It's so cute. It's a sock purse. So I thought I would keep stuff in it for making socks or cash for buying sock yarn. It's perfect. With this ball of yarn that I made my socks with, made Judith's socks with, there is 800 meters, and this is what I got left. So well planned. You can get 2 big socks out of this one little ball, big ball. This morning I'm going to make rhubarb pie. I haven't made rhubarb pie for ages, and today I'm going to make some, and I'm going to use rhubarb and dark muscovado sugar. It should be nice. I'm going to cut my rhubarb into roughly 1-inch pieces. I bought a bunch of rhubarb from the supermarket, and I've washed it, and there was 5 stems of rhubarb in the bunch. When I finish cutting the rhubarb, I will put it in the saucepan with a couple of spoons of the sugar, and I'll let it simmer for 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is long enough. It's lovely to make a pie with. My friend Kathy makes these most amazing fruit pies, and I think it's probably her suggestion this week and photos of her rhubarb pie that has given me enthusiasm to make rhubarb pie. I am not making a rhubarb pie, I'm making stewed rhubarb. I had it as a child, and you know how sometimes you just feel like food that you ate as a child? So rhubarb is one of those for me. There are some that you never want to visit again. For me, that's bread and butter pudding. So yeah, I'm up to the... How beautiful is that? I am now up to the stewing process. So I've got all my fruit in the pan, and I'm going to add probably 50 mils of water, maybe not even that much. Maybe a couple of tablespoons of water, and the sugar. Because the rhubarb can be sometimes quite tart. I've added this lovely sugar, and that will sort of caramelize as the fruit simmers away, ready to go. Beautiful. The rhubarb is percolating very nicely. A few hours, and a few hours will be nice and cool. We'll have dinner with some gelato or some non-dairy ice cream. Sounds yum. John's prepping 4 lunches for Nathan for this week. This is what he does every Sunday. Nice big lunch box of salads. Got tomatoes, Spanish onion, cucumbers, and a nice iceberg lettuce, crunchy. Beetroot, orange, lemon squeezed for the avocado, and some, did I say little tomatoes? What are these tomatoes called?
Cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes. But it looks so delicious. And then he'll have a little tin of tuna on top. So, yes, or cut cheese, but probably tuna. So, really nice lunches. These avocados are always nice and fresh, not too ripe for a lunch box. Really, it's a bento box. I really like the idea of bento boxes. I must have like a few of them. This is my latest one. I was at the Japanese shop on Thursday, I think it was, and for $6.50 you can get a beautiful bento box, and it has container for dressing and chopsticks in it. John's thinking he might use them for when he goes to the shed to take a nice lunch in. Avocado looks beautiful. Nice navel orange and a beautiful big lemon. These are all from Australia growing fruit and veg. So this is a nice lunch. Learning macrame. Macrame. Kitty. What's my kitty doing? Are you learning to tie knots, sweet cat? Hey? Hey, pussycat? Giving puzzles a rest and trying knots? Levine? Kitty? Kitty. Meow. Meow. Kitty. This is a finished macrame hanger. It's a nice long one. Looks beautiful with a white pot and ferns. Beautiful knots, very even. And some beads. So very simple knots and some string. Makes a beautiful hanging. Love it. John has been really busy this week. He's done 2 puzzles, both 1,000 pieces. This one he did yesterday and finished this morning. Where's Wally from the post office? It's a fab puzzle, but little tiny pieces. It is so cute. Let's zoom in. These people are all doing interesting things. Yeah, there's the knight. I think they're going to a dress up. Although these guys look like they're on the moon. You'll have to buy the puzzle and find Wally yourself and Wally's family. It's so cool. Oh, space monsters. So the Where's Wally puzzle was bought at the reject shop, not the post office, for those who want to get a Where's Wally. And this one was a gift, which didn't take long to make at all. And it's so cute. It's a Disney princess, 1,000 piece. And I haven't really heard of this puzzle maker, but I imagine it's pretty famous. That was a gift. How lucky. My favourite is Snow White. She is so beautiful. But this is a beautiful puzzle. It was a gift from Peter. Such lovely drawings Disney do. That one's 1,000 pieces. Panoramic. That's why it's so long.
I'm going to take it apart in each picture so Geordie.
So when John takes it apart, he's going to put each one in a separate bag so the granddaughter can just do them separately and have little puzzles, which is a really cute idea. And there will be like 200, maybe 170 pieces in each puzzle. A good idea. This is one of my favourite gifts for a jigsaw puzzler, is sorting trays. And some come in different colours, but I think I must have bought this one for John, or it was a gift, but he's got like 3 or 4 boxes of them, and they're so handy and makes puzzling fun. And they stack, even when they've got pieces in them, they're like stackable. 6 trays. So neat. So if you're looking for a gift for a puzzler, stacking trays. This is one of the most beautiful puzzles that he has ever done. And I've kept it on the table and just cover it with some thick plastic. It's so beautiful. It's Klimp. Such a beautiful puzzle. And it's got gold on it. So beautiful. He's such a beautiful artist. This box, 1,500 pieces. We got it from the local bookshop. I want John to frame it. I think it's just beautiful. It's gone out of focus. There we go. What do you think? This afternoon, 9th of May, I'm looking out of my window to the ocean, and these are rain clouds. There's an aeroplane right up high, and you can hear its sound through the wet clouds, really. The clouds are like a blanket, and they make the sound of aeroplanes sound different. It's been nice sunny weather until last night when the rain came. Hello, sweet thing. And my sweet kitty. My beautiful kitty, Kitty Livy. Kitty is looking at the clouds. And some birds flying over. Being chased by a crow by the sounds of it. Someone's sneezing their head off. The trees are loving the weather, the wet. They love a nice free shower. It's so green. Let's have a look at the big grevillea here in my backyard. My camera will zoom in. Voo. No. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Very passionate about the world and events. Hoping everyone has a good week. It's me signing off. Bye.